All right, y'all, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
I am vengeance.
Ladies and gentlemen, episode 4.
I am vengeance.
Able with us tonight, Leo.
What up?
Mr. Aaron.
Yo.
From a land not so down under, deep in the heart of Texas, Dwayne Beasy.
Yo.
We got Big Chase.
Yo.
And we got from Speak On It Comics, Charles. What up?
How you doing, guys? How's everything?
Doing good, man. We're doing good. All right. So, as always, this is the ManCave podcast. We're going to talk about all things nerdy. We're going to talk sports. We're going to talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. And y'all are going to listen because you're here to listen. That's what we're here to do. Just a couple of things. We will be talking massive spoilers on whatever we decide to talk about. So please, if you haven't seen certain things that we get into or conversations that we, decide to speak about, please exit and come back at a later time. We are on Facebook and we are on YouTube under the ManCave podcast, ManCave 101 podcast. So please like, comment, subscribe, help us keep the lights on in this bitch.
All right.
By the way,
I'm in the dark already.
There will be some vaping. There will be some drinking. And the cursing will mostly be coming from over there. Listen, I'm doing the intro. I get to have one. All right. So, like we always do, we are going to get started with the comic corner. Mr. Leo.
What up?
Let's get into the first comic. What do we got?
The first comic is the Batman Beyond Neo Year. It picks up from Batman Urban Legends 7. It also has a new villain called Holographic Man. That's a great pickup because Batman Beyond is going to be a big thing because Mr. Vengeance. Don't even get me started. Mr. Vengeance. Not get us started on that.
Grand man, wild as the Taliban. No, right. All right, sorry.
Yeah. All right. Our next comic is Earth Prime 1. The cover artist is Aaron. Aaron, you got a fucking comic book?
No.
Aaron.
There's one.
Aaron Kimjenko also had the first appearance of Ryan Wilder as Batwoman. She previously appeared in a Batgirl Fit number 50 in 2020, but not in a new costume. This is a whole different costume that she's in. The next book that we have is Spider-Punk. This is my fan favorite. I love this cover. It's the first solo title. It's limited, so when they say limited, it could be a low print run. So please pick this up. It also has the cover artist is Oliver Coipel. I'm killer with names, so don't judge me. It has a first appearance of Riot Heart and also Earth 138's version of Ironheart. The next book is Batman 122. The cover artist is Howard Porter. Is the first full appearance of Angel Breaker. Also, very sick cover. The last book is. Oh wait,
We got two more.
Oh, the hot covers, right?
We got Gunslingers.
The hot covers of the week. The first one is Gunslinger.
That's a dope ass cover.
It's really good.
I'm looking at it right now.
This
cover is really good.
And
If that thing comes out in foil, I'm gonna need 5 of those.
It's really sick.
It's coming out in June 6th. This is one of my favorite. I love anything with the Todd Father. All praise to the Todd
Give it
Father.
to him. Give it to him.
It also has the first appearance of a new villain, and for anything with Todd Father and Spawn, it's going to be big.
All praise the Todd Father.
All praise
Todd Father.
Okay, the next book is Hulk number 6.
This cover.
This
This
cover.
cover is. Oh my God!
Oh,
Listen,
this Hulk number 6 has about 12 variants.
It really does.
Okay. This is the one that I I found to be
Clayton?
Miss Clayton Crane. He's one of my favorite artists. But if you guys get a chance to pick this up, because if you go to Black Flag Comics and try to pick this up, most likely it will be sold out because they are definitely doing a limited edition on these books. Anything with Clayton Crane, and everybody knows that Clayton Crane has been working exclusively with Black Flag Comics. So he has the Wolverine, the first Wolverine, one of the first, actually the third comic book to come out with black light coloring in it.
Like you can put it to a black light and coloring?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Really?
He also did the Venom, same thing with the black light. He also did Ghost Rider. He also did Carnage for Black Flag. So the only covers I've been seeing from him come out from is from Black Flag. So if you want to pick this up. But I think the sales for Black Flag is at 12 o'clock on Friday.
Hey, Leo, it's already sold out.
Already?
Shit.
Already.
Oh, really?
All of them.
All of them?
All of them. I just went to Black Flag just to take a look. They're all sold out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep. So I missed out my point. So now, since they were probably selling for $20 a pop, you're prepared to pay for 50.
Yeah, like
you're not gonna find it.
5.
Shit. All right. So that is a comic corner and the 2 hot topics. And gentlemen, we forgot.
We didn't forget.
We forgot.
We're going to the next topic. Now we do it. The shot.
No, we're supposed to do one before.
Oh my God. You made me do the intro. You said you want me to do the intro. Like, I don't.
Argue off
Take
camera.
Argue off camera.
This is to the 2-minute warning who commented, I've been waiting all week for this. Let's go.
Give it up to 2 minutes. Let's go. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That went down
It
great.
gets better every week.
Yes, it does. All righty. So that's the comic corner, and that's the 2 hot covers of the week. Next thing we're going to talk about, it's what's been going on in the news.
Nerdy news.
Nerdy news. All right, so fellas, I'm gonna bring up 3 subjects, and we're gonna go around the horn on all 3 subjects. When I'm done with the 3 subjects, you guys we go around the horn and able to pick the person who's gonna go next. All right. The first thing that we got on Nerdy News, Chris Hemsworth they kick off for the Love and Thunder press tour without a trailer. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. We also have the Crow reboot that I'm excited for. And also Jim Carrey supposedly retiring, and also he's talking about doing Ace Ventura 3. So he can't make up his fucking mind. So, okay, hit it off.
I mean, I guess it makes sense for me to go first. So let's talk about Thor. So it actually recently came out, I think in the last day or 2, that this is officially the first Marvel movie with the least gap in time between the time the movie came out and the teaser trailer. So this is the shortest amount of time, I guess, that there hasn't been this, or I think I'm saying that right, but it's kind of crazy that we haven't gotten a trailer for this movie. You've heard a whole bunch of different rumors about, are we going to do Rune God Thor, God the Butcher, all these crazy things, Thor, Jane Foster, and we still don't even have a teaser trailer, which leads me to believe that there is some type of content that hasn't come out yet that they are waiting for in order to release that trailer. What that could be, I don't know if it has anything to do with Moon Knight and the whole God thing that they're doing. I don't know if it has anything to do with Doctor Strange. We're getting Doctor Strange in a little bit, a little bit less than a month here now, right? Which, that movie, whew. But there's definitely something going on weird there. And then they're talking about delays. Are we going to get delayed? That's a whole nother conversation that I'm sure we all can get into right now. Then I want to talk about the Crow reboot. So the guy who played it, Bill Skarsgård. I can't say his last name. I'm going to butcher it. That creepy mother effer is playing the Crow. But I think, and I'm sure I could speak for everyone here when we say that movie's cursed, and we're just waiting to see what happens to that poor man. Because they've tried rebooting this. They tried. I mean, he lived. Yeah, the movie did it. But and then just going through Jim Carrey, this man can't leave my life. I anything this man has touched, I love. Eternal Sunshine, like that's just such a played down movie that doesn't get enough attention. I love that. Like, you want to talk about Liar Liar, I can quote that whole movie, as I'm sure everyone else can. Ace Ventura. So I think him and the slap that will not be named on this podcast kind of had that effect on him, and it's very interesting to see how that all plays out. So Leo, what do we feel today?
Jim Carrey cannot retire. I mean, that man, anything he does is fucking classic for me. The Crow, since Bruce Lee's Brandon Lee passed away, and if you don't know about Brandon Lee, watch Rapid Fire. If you haven't seen that movie, stop your life and go watch Rapid Fire.
But keep watching this podcast.
Keep watching the podcast, but afterwards, stop your life and you go watch Rapid Fire. And the whole Thor thing, this is just Marvel classic building up the hype. It's just getting everybody antsy for this movie, and everybody's already there. Everybody wants more Marvel content.
Yep.
And wants this, especially this movie and Doctor Strange. So I'm just waiting for it.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to Wendell. Wendell, how are we feeling about this?
Oh man, I'm gonna start with The Crow because that's like one of my favorite flicks. Leave well enough alone, man. That's how I feel. Leave well enough alone. Like, they shouldn't have had the 7 different variations that they made after the original. Like, just stop right there. Like, that's a classic right there. Brandon Lee's performance in that movie set the tone. You can't keep doing more Crows with more people. Like, little Terminator boy was the Crow at one point in one of these flicks. Like
John Connor?
Yeah, John Connor. From T2, the little kid on the motorcycle. I don't know his name, man. But I was like, are you serious? You got him playing the Crow? Leave well enough alone, man. I hope the director drop out of this and this thing just hits the ground and never gets picked back up again. I'm about to sit my son down this weekend. I'm gonna show him the Crow. Like you need to see this. Like, and you gonna learn. You gonna
watch Rapid Fire first.
Can I come to Texas and watch? Because I kind of want to watch it.
Yo, I love this. Hell, man. I'll do a party. We could watch it.
Watch party. There you go.
Thor: Love and Thunder. All right. I think Marvel says that we are giving the world too much right now. All right.
They are throwing it at us.
Everybody in the world of the nerd is sitting with a chubby, waiting for Doctor Strange to drop. Everybody is just loving up on some Moon Knight right now. They're like, I think we got to stop before we give people heart attacks. So I'm okay with the pause and the wait for it. I mean, it's just going to make it that much better for me when I do see it. So, I'm okay with waiting. I ain't got a problem with that.
Nice.
Now, my man on to the Carrie. Oh, no.
No.
He can't go nowhere.
We weren't ready.
He can't go nowhere. All right? This guy, I watched Ace Ventura, to the point where my mother got mad at me for walking around the house every time she asked me something. Oh, righty then. Like, she hated it.
You were talking with your butt, weren't you?
I did do that a couple of times. I ain't gonna lie.
I was gonna ask you a question.
It didn't go over well, but I did it a few times. I didn't even care. Jim Carrey's my guy. Mm-hmm. All right. I don't want him to retire. If he does, man, then you did great in your career, and I appreciate everything you've given me. I'd end up watching every movie of his again and again and again, but I don't want him to go nowhere, man. I even liked it in Sonic the Hedgehog.
For real. Love it. All right. Let's do Big Chase. Where we at?
Let me show you something. First of all, anybody that doesn't know, Jim Carrey is the greatest. Like, dude, listen, In Living Color is one of the best shows I've ever seen on TV. Jim Carrey is like scary good. Him and Tommy Davis could do like a whole series on their own. They're stupid crazy. it's sad to see him retire. I mean, I guess he's at a point now where he's like, okay, I've done it all. For me, it's kind of heartbreak because I really was thinking at some point they would give him the Joker because he's funny. But if he did a serious role and did a creepy Joker, like I think he would pretty much take the trophy. But if he does retire, then I wish him well. Like he's given us so much, so how can I actually be mad at that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
right.
I really could be mad. Love and Thunder. I'm kind of with Wendell. Like there's so much to love on right now. Like just hold on to that and just keep it warm for me when I get through all of this. To watch the digest right now, like good lord, like, I'm gonna have to to use up all my sick and vacation days to see this stuff. You know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to Love and Thunder. All the Marvel movies, man. Like the stories are just great. So I'm I'm a Marvel head, so it's all good.
Heck yeah.
And now The Crow. Okay, so don't ever look in a mirror and say The Crow 3 times. It's beyond cursed. Everybody that's ever done one of these movies is pretty much beyond cursed. Like, I don't know. I listen. I hope that it turns into something, but we already see like some movies just don't need to be made. They just need to be left alone. It's King Tut's tomb all over again. So
yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right. Let's go to Charles. What's going on?
What's up? Oh wow. Okay, so I'll start with The Crow because The Crow is definitely one of my favorite comic book adaptations ever. It's definitely one of my top comic book films ever. Just films and period. I remember going to see that as a one of my as a premiere. I was taken to a premiere to see The Crow, and then afterwards, it was an after party at the Limelight in New York, which everybody was looking like The Crow. And that
I'm gonna
back in the day,
I'm gonna show my age.
You are now.
like everybody was The Crow in that club.
The Limelight is basically the place where you can get any kind of drug that you want.
Hey.
It was taken down because of that. Right. I'm sorry.
And he means candy, by the way.
Yes,
he's not
not the only thing high in there.
Yeah. It was like it used to be a church, and then they turned it into something else. So
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They were saying some type of prayers up in there.
Yeah.
God, that was a good place.
Oh my gosh, but yeah, definitely, man. Brandon Lee, man, rest in peace, bro. Just the whole Lee family, man. Holla, just love them, As far as doing a reboot, I think that they're doing it all wrong. I think that they shouldn't do a movie. I think they should do a series. I think it would probably come off a lot better. I think if they do it as a HBO, like not an HBO
Max, they're doing everything right now.
If they do it as a series, and maybe if they have different people becoming the Crow, to have a different story plot each episode, that would be something I think people would just get behind, and sort of have it that way instead of trying to do this whole film production.
Hey, if HBO does this and it's because of Charles.
You need to get paid.
We want to cut.
Coming for those
Charles he obviously gets the most.
He gets the lion's share. We want to cut.
Coming for those coins.
Yeah, so I really hope that. I would like to see a Crow. I just think that would be the better alternative than doing a film. As far as Love and Thunder, do they really need to do a trailer?
Yes.
We're gonna go see it. If they put the movie out tomorrow, if they put the movie out tomorrow, everybody's gonna go and see it without a trailer. Marvel is just doing incredible things,
They're doing the most right now.
And to me, it's like they're being very strategic. They're calculating. You know what I mean? So I think for them, as far as everything that they've been doing, you got Miss Marvel coming in June. You got the Obi-Wan. You got all these different things that are happening. So I just think that they know what they're doing. They're gonna drop it when we least suspected, just like everything else. I mean, nobody expected that Doctor Strange trailer after No Way Home. Nobody expected that, you know, and they just gave it to us. I was like, okay.
They threw it in our faces.
I was like, okay.
Right, you just saw one of the best Marvel movies ever. Here.
Get ready for seconds.
Right, yeah.
It's like Marvel keep feeding us like keep feeding us cake, more cake, more cake, more cake. I'm like, okay, I'll take that cake. So I'm ready for Love and Thunder with Thor. With Jim Carrey, for me, I wasn't the biggest Jim Carrey fan, but I do liked a lot of like the movies that I enjoyed from him was definitely The Mask, Liar Liar.
Cameron Diaz, very passionate.
Yeah, I mean that was Cameron Diaz, like
very passionate. Cameron Diaz's first movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was her first movie.
Exactly. And like you guys said about Living Color, man, just they had so many stars that came out of that camp, and Jim Carrey, being he just did what he did in a mix of all the different types of talent, and he was the first out that camp, the gate, to get to make his debut, and then everybody else followed. But I get, I mean, I'm not the biggest Jim Carrey fan. So, but I mean, if he does decide to retire, hats off to him, and wish him the best.
Yep, definitely. All right, and last but not least, Aaron.
Yeah, I'll probably keep mine a little short and sweet. So I'll just go out on a limb and let everybody know here that I know nothing of The Crow, so I'm not going to speak of it. So if I don't know,
we gotta move you up, man.
Listen,
that's fine.
Man.
I mean, like I just haven't seen it, so I'm not knowledgeable enough to speak on it. But we'll see. Maybe I'll watch.
Did you see the It movie?
The It movie?
The new
most
It
recent
movie,
one?
the most recent one. What did you think of the actor?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see him being a creep in another movie?
Yeah, for sure.
Done.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair. My second point, I'll go to Jim Carrey, and I'll just say I hope he does not retire. But obviously, if he does, like everybody else here has said, a hell of a career, multiple different projects. I think we've all spotted. Like I go back to The Mask. I mean, The Mask is from when I was a kid, but so many other things that he's been in. Hope he doesn't, but if he does, obviously, thank you for everything. And then I'm just going to end it with Thor because I think at this point people know how I feel about Thor.
I can see your boner from here.
My favorite character.
The table
I just want to say this. I saw that photo. I'm sure everybody here saw the photo with them doing the signs and everything, and everybody started to say, "Oh, 4/11, which would be Monday." This upcoming
crazy
Monday.
With that shit.
Right. So I'm going to be honest with you. I hope it's Monday. I wish it was today. But if it's Monday, I'm in. And I feel like if we don't get one in the next 2 weeks here, a couple weeks here, I really feel like Marvel's saving it for either there's going to be some tie-in to either Moon Knight or Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Just because at this point, I feel like for the movie to be this close and not to have anything seems a little odd to me. So there's just like a missing piece of information. Yeah. But either which way, I mean, Taika Waititi, like I'm in. He did Ragnarok. You guys know how I feel about Ragnarok. Great movie. And I know this movie's from all the leaks. I just have nothing but good feelings about this movie coming out too. So I'm Monday, Marvel. You want to give me something else Monday? I'm in. Let me know.
It's Aaron's birthday this past Tuesday, so
oh wow!
And a birthday present. Come on.
Drink to that.
Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you.
He's 238.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, okay.
All right. So the next three things that came out, Loki is the most watched on Disney Plus.
Damn right it is.
As it should be.
HBO Max wraps up Batgirl this week.
I haven't seen it.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her.
In a body bag?
Put her in a body bag.
Oh God. Oh, Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson are starring in a project it's called Project Artemis for Apple TV.
I mean, Apple's amazing. So
Well,
They do some good shows on that.
All right, so we're gonna go backwards this time. We're gonna start with Aaron.
We're gonna start with
We're gonna start with Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't watched. What is it? Bad
Girl. Yeah.
Haven't seen it. Not gonna watch it.
Is that the one? Is that the one on CW? Like, is that same one? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's with Leslie Grace.
oh, good for her.
Yeah, no, not doing not watching it. Don't care. Just being honest with you. I mean, Apple TV is great. I've watched a couple different shows on there, so I think that Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans will be great on whatever show they do. I thought I saw some previews for that. I think it looked pretty good.
Really?
Whatever it was. I thought I saw like some
Yeah, it was a couple
leaked stuff or something like
It was
that.
a couple leaked.
I think I saw some. It looked like it could be pretty entertaining. So like, it might be something worth watching. What was it? I'm sorry. What was
Loki.
the thing? Loki. Yeah, Loki should be the most watched show at this point. Although Moon Knight's going to overtake it.
Whoa, hot take.
Don't care.
Moon Knight. Moon Knight.
Loki's great, and honestly, Loki alone, the last episode of Loki that we saw alone, which introduced freaking Kang the Conqueror. I mean, that alone is just insane. Like, it's going to be the most watched show to this point. I think Moon Knight's going to give it a run for its money, but just introducing a villain like that in a series is crazy.
Yeah.
So it deserves to be the most watched, honestly, at this point.
1000%. Okay, we are going to hit Mr. Charles.
Well, I tell you, I'm a huge fan of Chris Evans, and that's my dude. And Scarlett Johansson,
Passionate.
that's my girl.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this about 4 or 5
Put up the alert.
minutes.
Back to the nerd.
That's
Let
that's
the air
my girl.
horns go off.
you know?
Lord have mercy.
and those guys are really, they've been longtime friends, for the longest time. So they definitely have a good chemistry. Even in the Winter Soldier, you saw, the connection that they had together, during that storyline, with the fallout of Shield. So I think that they, it's time for to see these two come back and do something different together. And I'm looking forward to it. As far as the, I'm sorry, what was the other?
Batgirl and
Batgirl. Oh yeah, so Batgirl. So everything is going to be. I don't know what's going to happen because I know that they're having a bit of an issue with the guy that's playing the Flash right now, and I think her debut was supposed to happen in the Flashpoint, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, Michael Keaton, who's come back to play Batman, is supposed to be the one that's supposed to train her, and this is supposed to be through the Flashpoint movie. So it's going to be interesting to see how that whole thing is going to play out, and then based on that, we'll see how it goes for her. I mean, Batgirl, I've always been it's funny. I've always been, even with the Adam West Batman show. I always liked when the Batgirl, what's her name, Yvonne Craig, would come in.
Yeah.
Passion alert.
Yeah, I used to like Yvonne. And I think she was married to Bill Bixby, which was interesting. I think she was either married or they was in a relationship, her and Bill Bixby, back in the day. So, two superhero characters, but we'll see how this all plays out. I mean, we all know that DC's been having some issues, so we're going to see how this Ezra Miller situation pans out for them. And I'm sorry, what was the other? Loki being the top. Okay, so it makes sense for now. I think that there's going to be a time when all these shows are going to be rewatched. I think when Doctor Strange comes out, people are going to rewatch WandaVision.
Yep.
I think once because that's the great thing about Marvel. They're good at making sure that even like with Endgame, when they added the little scene with Thor going back to Asgard, and that was a direct relation to Dark World, which a lot of people, that's probably one of a lot of people's least favorite. But because of that scene, they made you go back and enjoy Dark World because of that scene. So Marvel has a great way of having you go back and revisit shows. And so I think that there's going to be a time where each one of them are going to have that replay value. So right now it's Loki. and eventually it's going to be WandaVision, and it's probably be the Falcon Winter Soldier, and when the Kate Bishop thing happens, it's probably going to be that. So, I think it's just, right now it's Loki. That's how I feel.
I just want to say, if you went back and watched Thor: The Dark World on your own volition, God bless. that movie only needs to be watched once.
Aaron, would you say that makes you angry?
Thor: The Dark World?
Yeah.
It's the second most aggravating movie in the MCU.
Oh no!
Oh, we're gonna get it.
All right,
I think it's the shortest movie too, Dark World. I think that's the shortest one. I think it's like,
because it needs to be over in 30 minutes.
It's not short enough.
Another podcast.
Another day, my friends. Another
All right,
day.
we're gonna hit Big Chase. What up, Chase?
It was good. All right, so Project Artemis. We'll see what it brings. Nothing like keeping good actors working. There's a lot with Project Artemis. There's a lot of background to that whole thing, so I'm curious to see where that goes. We're going to just keep an eye open. We're going to reserve judgment right now, but I'm watching. Batgirl, well, you know how I feel about DC, man. A place with so much promise, and it's barely bears any real fruit. But you know what? HBO Max has a lot of DC content that I like. So if they maintain this type of energy, Batgirl might be something to take a look at, and keep watching. So I'm going to reserve judgment and keep watching on that one too. Loki, listen, anybody that knows me knows Loki is my guy. Like it's something about Loki because he is he's intelligent. He does a lot of dumb, weird stuff, but he's an intelligent villain.
I do love
He's an opportunist. And I was telling somebody the other day, when it really comes down to it, he's actually not looking to take over Asgard because he's had so many chances to do that. But he just likes causing mischief. Like he really is the god of mischief. Like that's all he wants to do is just give everybody a hard ass time. He doesn't really want to take over anything. And that just makes him like, a forever character and whatnot. So I'm not surprised that people have, latched onto the character. Without thought, I've got like t-shirts and mugs with Loki on here. I don't know how that happened. You like what you like, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's cool though. I think that's good.
All right, good stuff. Wendell.
So Loki, I'm gonna start with Loki. I believe he's serving his glorious purpose of being the most watched show. I'm gonna leave it at that. This is Loki. Chase said it. That dude is crazy. I love him. So he deserves that. I believe his show was great as it was. So the Kang thing, that was just icing on top of it. It just made it that much better. But I love the show regardless, and I'll watch it again. Project Artemis. I'm glad we're getting that Captain America, Black Widow show movie that we wanted to see. Because I loved them. I loved them in that movie together, man. And it was good. But I don't know nothing about Project Artemis, man. I'm full of shit. Don't worry about it. I'll watch it though. I will always support that booty.
We're in.
All right. I'm talking about Scarlet, not Chris.
This is ManCave.
Passionate about America's ass and Scarlett Johansson. Thank you. Very passionate.
Passionate. There we go.
I mean,
and, I will say for Batgirl, all right, I watched the DC TV shows that come on. All right, I watched Arrow and then Flash and even the corny Legends of Tomorrow. I watch all of them, and for the most part, yeah, CGI's whack, it's bad. But taking something like Batgirl and doing it on HBO Max gives them a little bit more leeway to do some things. Like if anybody ever watched Titans, like on HBO Max, then you'll understand like that show was crazy, and I loved what they did with that. So I'll watch it with an open mind. I'm interested to see what they do with it. the characters that they're playing and the people they have playing these characters. So I'm interested to see how it goes. So I'll walk into it. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it on here eventually.
Sure the heck will. All right. I guess I will go. So with Batwoman, I don't know. Like anything DC does lately is just really hurting my soul. And we'll get into that with another topic coming up soon. But I mean, listen, I loved Arrow. I loved The Flash. Like I watched Legends of Tomorrow. Like I've watched so many of the DC animes. Like there are so many things DC does right, and then it just like completely gets outweighed with the things they're doing wrongs with the movie and the movies. We're gonna get into that, and whatever. I'm probably not gonna watch Batwoman, to be completely honest. Loki, I mess with. I think it's gonna take a lot to take down a show like Loki, even with the rewatches and stuff. The fact that you had a show like Loki that introduced variants and then a Kang, which is going to be something we're going to be dealing with for the next 4 to 6, 7, 8 years, however many years, and you do that in a TV show.
True.
It's going to be really hard to top. And then Jonathan Majors is just like, and I no one's mentioned this, but like I don't know if you guys seen this man working out besides Michael B. Jordan for the new Creed movie. The Avengers need to watch out, because that man is jacked. He's going to mess all of them up.
What did he say? What did he say in the show? You haven't even seen my worst form.
Yeah, you haven't even seen my.
You haven't even seen my worst form. Yeah, that form's coming.
Yeah, and we're in trouble. Like they're all in trouble. Like do they use him to like even like make him more powerful than Thanos? Like, how does that work? Like, we don't know what we're getting into, and I can't wait to see it. I cannot. What was the other topic? Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson. The answer is yes. Like, we want all that. I want to see it.
Sure.
I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna love it. Don't even know. Leo.
Okay, Loki is where it's supposed to be. That's my. That's my. It's there. Batgirl. Not even. I already wasted my time with freaking Peacemaker. You have to awe me. Shut up. I swear to God, don't watch it. That's Peacemaker. Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson. You can't say nothing bad about these two. These two are like, they should be married. And plus, Scarlett Johansson, she's gonna be wearing something tight. So
Person alert! Person alert!
Another one.
Okay, the next three that we got is Army of the Dead surpasses Spider-Man No Way Home and wins an Oscar. Quiet. Hold it. In fan favorite. Flash getting locked up. He couldn't run fast enough. Fortnite is coming out with a comic book called Zero War. It's coming out June 8th. Every time you buy a comic, there's going to be a free skin inside the comic book for Fortnite. But you know how Fortnite works. They're trying to get your money, and skin don't do shit.
I'm gonna let you start.
Oh, you let me start?
Yeah, sure.
Fortnite, buy the comic. Definitely buy the comic, because they're gonna have some. This is the first time that Fortnite and Marvel are working together, and also they worked together beforehand, because in the game you are actually allowed to play as Thanos.
Oh yeah.
And use the gauntlet, and it was a cheat code. Flash, homeboy has. I don't know what he has to do. He needs an electric shock or something, because he's smacking people all over the place. And the funny thing is, nobody's seen the video of it yet.
There's a video somewhere. There's a video.
There's a video of it
everywhere.
There's a video of it somewhere, but no, they backed out of one. So far, they already paused his movies. And Army of the Dead, surpassing Spider-Man No Way Home
As a fan favorite.
Proves my motherfucking point.
Oh, there goes one.
So I'm gonna leave it right there.
I'm gonna give it to Aaron next.
Oh, you really gonna?
Oh, because I'm gonna get very angry very quickly.
Okay. So here's the thing about Fortnite. I played Fortnite twice in my life. Fully honest with you. It's more of a kiddie game, in my opinion. Right. But the fact that they're tying in the comics is really cool. I also don't know if anybody's ever seen this, but they did a really cool tribute when Chadwick Boseman passed away. They had a whole thing in the game where they had everybody in Fortnite really universe doing the whole Wakanda Forever thing. So Fortnite does some really cool stuff. I'll agree, pick up the comic, obviously, if you're a Fortnite fan, if you play the game, get a skin. It's pretty cool. It's obviously not going to do anything. It's just going to be cosmetic. But the comic, I think I actually saw a leak of the comic. It looked pretty cool, too. Yeah, the comic looked good. So I was like, okay. The Flash. The DCU is a mess.
I'm gonna get so angry.
It's such a mess. I just take Robert Pattinson, just throw it in the garbage and start over again. I don't even know where to go with it. Honestly, I'm over it.
I know.
Like I don't really have much else to say about it. And then the Oscar. Listen, I saw that movie. What's the name of the movie? Army of the Dead. I watched that movie, and the fact that it took over No Way Home is laughable. Honestly, it's great. Like, the movie's not terrible, but
was that a category where Twitter gets to pick the winner?
Probably. Yeah, it's probably a fan base thing, and like
it is a fan favorite.
Listen, people love zombie movies. I love zombie movies, honestly. I always have. But you're not going to sit here and tell me that if you look at those two movies side by side, that movie's better. There's no logical way that movie's. There was a zombie tiger in the movie. Like what? And Dave Bautista. I love Dave Bautista, but like, come on, man. This was 3 Spider-Men on the freaking thing at the same time. You're never gonna see it again, probably. Well, who knows? We'll get into that later with the Morbius review.
We sure will.
Spoilers ahead. But that's where I'll leave it at that. I think that's absolutely criminal. They got Spider-Man No Way Home should have taken. I don't know if they took any other awards on, but they should have taken away that one too. Just saying.
All right, I'm gonna go. Fortnite. The game's very popular. Some little kid won like $3 million playing a tournament.
Sure did.
Good for him. Go buy the comic because it's gonna be worth money. Like, there's no way it's not going to be worth money. Just pick up the damn comic. Army of the Dead. Go F yourself in the A, because there's no way that this movie was better than No Way Home. And this just goes to show you, between this category and Ezra Miller as the Flash out-momenting Endgame and No Way Home, no. So, Oscars, go F yourself in the A. And that brings me to my next point, The Flash. Please don't make this movie. Stop it right now. Don't put it out. Like, reboot The Flash, take Ezra Miller out of it. Put Grant Gustin in if you want to, from the freaking CW. I don't care what you do, but this is your karma for messing up the Snyderverse. Warner Brothers is getting it. They're getting all of it, and they're going to keep getting karma. I swear to God. Because people right now, they're coming after Amber Heard for all the crap that she did for Johnny Depp because this came up. Oh, well, Ezra Miller gets shit. Why aren't we giving Amber Heard shit? Exactly. So, it's all just going to keep coming at Warner Brothers. And, this was supposed to be the movie I got to see Michael Keaton Batman again, and I'm never going to see it because this movie has been delayed. This movie's supposed to come out, I think, in 2018. And here we are, 2023. I have to wait for this fucking movie to come out. They're gonna kill a Batman. They're gonna kill Ben Affleck, but then they're not. But then they're gonna add Robert Pattinson, but then they're not. But go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, Warner Brothers. I'm sick of your shit.
It almost feels like the Oscars and the DCU slapped the shit out of us like Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. You know
right.
What I mean?
That's exactly what happened. And don't even then just wait till I get to Sony. You think I'm mad now? Wait till I get to Sony.
Morbius.
All right. I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm giving it to Wendell. Wendell, it's all you.
These 3 stories. I don't care about Fortnite. I'm gonna buy the comic just because it's gonna be, it's gonna go in the collection. I'm gonna have it. The Flash, I'm with you. I've been dying to see Michael Keaton in this damn suit again, and now it looks like I'm not gonna.
All right, so let's screw Michael Keaton up not once but twice.
Let's just say screw you, Ezra Miller, and thank you, DC, for doing it again. And then what's the next one?
Army of the Dead winning an Oscar over No Way Home.
All right, so that's just absolute bull. That's bullshit.
Blasphemy.
Just straight up, right out of the bull's ass. That's what that is. So they can go ahead, and there's no way in the world you'll ever convince me that that is a true thing. And yeah, Oscars are rigged. So I won't flash that out, but yeah, that's how I feel. I went to WrestleMania, so I'm feeling stone coldish.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
All right, love it. All right, let's go to Charles. You're muted, sir. I think you're muted. I hear nothing from you.
Okay, I'm
There
sorry
you
about
are.
that, guys. I hear you.
There he is.
As far as Fortnite, I mean, definitely, it's so popular. Just get anything that says Fortnite on it. If it's Fortnite in the Quaker Oats guy, or Fortnite, or and the Keebler Elf, Woody Woodpecker, anything Fortnite, just grab it. It's hot. It's, they did that Batman Fortnite. I think it's Batman Fortnite Snake Eyes thing. That like, just grab it.
I think
Just
that book
be a
is at
fucking flavor.
150 right now.
Yeah, just anything Fortnite, just grab it. As far as Ezra Miller, he's a problem. He's a problem. He just keep getting into different situations, and that last situation is just weird. I try to read up on it and see what exactly, because I always try to give certain things a benefit of the doubt and see if it's something else that's going on, but it's just a weird situation. And so, it seems like he's just, he's a problem. So I think that, I don't know if it warrants them to redo the film or not. I'm not sure at this point. I think the movie's supposed to come out this year, right? It's supposed to come out
Yep.
this. So it's gonna be a bit of a situation if they, do the pre-production and try to delay it. I think people want to see Michael Keaton again. People want to see, this movie, The Flashpoint, and see what happens. What's the fallout behind it? But I understand that, right now it's just too volatile having Ezra Miller at this point in time. So, and I'm for them to getting Grant Gustin if that's the case. If they want to do a quick transition and having Grant Gustin be the Flash, I think he can. I definitely think that he can pull it off. I think a lot of people say, "Oh, he's a TV actor or whatever," but there's been plenty of times where we saw TV actors do phenomenal in the movies or theater, or vice versa. So,
and they already put Ezra in the CW show at one point too, like to have like a moment. Like I forgot about that. So yeah,
yes, they did.
Listen, if you could do one, you could do the other.
I mean, yeah,
exactly.
You can swap it.
And just swap. As far as Army of the Dead, I think. I mean, what did they actually win? What was the actual category?
Fan favorite.
Fan favorite movie.
Fan favorite from No Way Home?
Right. So you know what Twitter trolls did? They let that movie win. That's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's a timing thing with the Oscars. I don't know if because No Way Home came out just recently in December, and I don't know if like Army of the Dead been out for a long time, so I don't know if it's a timing thing with the Oscars. Maybe that could be the case, but in my opinion, I think No Way Home is superior when it comes to between those two films. So that's all I have to say about that.
May.
Yeah. So it could be a timing thing.
It's freaking crazy. All right, last but not least, Big Chase.
Okay, so let's just get the trash out of the way. I mean, the Flash out of the way.
Why you mad, son?
So, first of all, Flash is going to end up in a folder with the Fantastic Four as one of those superheroes who should have been at the top of the movie world, and for some reason it didn't happen. It's being mishandled. I actually went back and looked at a few other old Flash movies and things like that. They still haven't gotten him right. They still haven't gotten him to that level where a Superman and a Wonder Woman is, and he should be there because I don't know about you guys, but when I was young, everybody wanted to be the Flash. Everybody wanted to be the Flash.
Flash is cool.
It's always been cool.
You know, the ability to go around the world was like, oh my God, I can do that. But they're really screwing him up. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. Fortnite, I'm with Leo. Like, this is a money grab. People are seeing how popular, comic book technology related material is. So now everybody and their mother's like, let's just add a comic book to the mix, and then we'll connect it, and then that'll get extra money. So that's I expect that to happen. It's it's big business. It is what it is. Now the Army of the Dead. Let me say this: the Army of the Dead is one of those cult classic movies, and you have those. Night of the Living Dead, the whole zombie movement. Those are like classic movies you can watch over and over and over and over and over again. Now I don't know why this one got to be so popular, but I'm assuming it's probably from the title. Zombies are classics. Maybe they just like the whole thing, but I'm actually not necessarily surprised, because in terms of not having to think, like, these are no brainers. Like, you don't need a brain to watch Army of the Dead. Oh, look, zombies, kill them, shoot them, slash them, with just good, thick, violent fun. Whereas with No Way Home, you got to know the story, and you got to figure out what's going on, and this character is relating to that character, and blah 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 blah. And I think that for people that just want gratuitous violence, it just was maybe too much to digest. So I'm not necessarily surprised. Plus the fact, I think that they probably decided that they needed to give Netflix an award. Like, we got the movie categories covered. Maybe we need to give some of these streaming companies an award too. They are part of what we're doing now. So that's pretty much what it is. It's just politics as usual. Fixed. You know how it goes.
I think that's it for that.
All right, so that is for nerdy news that's going on this week.
Now it's a topic change.
Now it's a topic change.
But
Shots
before
up.
we do, the 2-minute warning comments. DC can kiss my ass. I love Fortnite, so geek for this. So let's give it up.
Salutes.
Chill. Fuck DC, motherfuckers. I agree. Ruining my shit.
That's a lot of cursing.
See, and I'm supposed to be the bad one.
Oh, and just when you thought we were getting into cursing,
yeah.
Now it's time for the Morbius review.
Yes, very heavy spoilers.
Morbius.
We're not doing sports.
Oh, we're doing sports. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Jesus Christ, look at me jumping ahead.
I didn't know if we had a time crunch or anything.
Oh, let's do it.
No, fuck that.
Just with a recap.
I'll tell you what, guys. Let's do it this way. I'll do a quick sports recap. I'll go topic by topic. If anybody wants to jump in. Sound good?
Gotcha.
Cool. All right. Start with this. So, just some quick hitters from the world of sports this week. We'll just go Tiger Woods competing in the Masters.
Yes.
Playing golf for the first time
golf
playing golf for the first time after nearly losing his leg in a car accident 14 months ago. Many thought he never stepped foot on a golf course again competitively. And at last check of the leaderboard, he's sitting around 11th at 1 under par. Whoa. So good for Tiger Woods. I'm glad he's back. I know dude's had a tumultuous career, personal life, all that. But the way I'll put it, to paraphrase it, is golf is better with Tiger Woods playing competitively.
Yeah.
Better believe it.
Tiger Woods.
Goddamn right.
I like him.
Yep.
Tiger Woods.
I'm about to go on my MGM app right now and put a bet down. I'm gonna do something. I don't know yet.
Will Tiger Woods to win?
Throw a parlay in there.
My second point this week, my second sports topic, I should say, Brooklyn Nets forward Ben Simmons filed a grievance against the Philadelphia 76ers.
Give me money.
Give me my money to try and get around $20 million of his salary back. Simmons is stating that he requested to be away from the team due to mental health issues and ongoing disputes with the team. So basically, for those of us who haven't really followed basketball that closely, essentially a lot of stuff happened with Ben Simmons in the offseason. The team didn't really back him up. He took a lot of scrutiny for the team's failures in the playoffs last year, and he felt like the team didn't really have his back. So that to him, I guess maybe put him in a bad mental spot, this, that, and the other thing. So he decided to take a step back from basketball, focus on himself. And ultimately, he told them, I'd like to be traded. And it obviously resulted in a trade to the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
The 76ers held out part of his salary because Simmons didn't play up until the February 14th trade deadline, I want to say. I might get the date wrong. So Simmons didn't play the entire, basically, like half of the season. So they withheld $20 million of his salary, stating that he didn't meet his contractual obligations. So obviously, that's how that works. Your employer is going to say, I'm not paying you. You're not here. And Simmons is basically trying to work. I don't want to call it a loophole to make him sound like the bad guy, but he's trying to work a kind of a loophole within the NBA Players Association, stating that if you tell the team that you're stepping away for mental health issues, they're not allowed to take your salary away from you, essentially. So he's kind of working a little bit of a case there, and we'll see. Ultimately, I think he's gonna. I don't know if he'll end up getting the whole 20 back, but I think he'll end up getting a lot of his salary back.
Right. Well, Mike JC says Ben Simmons a bum.
He is. I agree. Listen. I'll say this, or anybody here who watches basketball, Ben Simmons is a hell of a basketball player. He's arguably one of the most talented defenders in the NBA. He can guard positions 1 through 5. The issue with Ben Simmons is he's a basketball player who can't shoot or is scared to shoot. If you're scared to shoot, it's going to affect every other part of your game. So if Ben Simmons ever just developed a jump shot, he'd be a top 10 talent in the NBA. But instead of doing that, he focused on the other parts of his game, which include defense, passing, and those are great. He, like I said, he's a phenomenal player, and he's very aggressive getting the basket, big body at 6'10". But it's just a matter of if he ever decided to take a step back and develop the jump shot that everybody critiqued him for, he'd just be that much more of a threat. More like Giannis, who puts in the work and is an MVP caliber player leading teams to championships. It's up to Ben Simmons at this point to want to put the work in.
Exactly.
I mean, I hate the Brooklyn Nets, so I'm going to say I hope he doesn't do that. But ultimately, that's what I think.
Knicks fan.
We're not going to talk about the Knicks. It'll be I'll need a whole stream to myself. Does anybody have anything to say about Ben Simmons' thoughts on $20 million? Anything?
I mean, yeah, get that money. I mean,
Get my money.
Get my money.
I'm rich, bitch.
Get my money.
My next quick hitter, MLB opening day is today. In terms of local sports, the Mets are currently playing the Nationals, and I will actually pull up the score right now.
Let's go Yankees.
They're probably losing.
We'll find out in a second. So the Mets and the Nationals are currently in the second inning, 0-0. And the Yankees play tomorrow. They open up in Yankee Stadium against the Boston Red Sox.
Hey, yo.
So here's all I'll say. I think a lot of people here are Yankee fans, including myself. But I will also say good luck to both teams this year.
Yes.
Hopefully, I think both have playoff aspirations. Both good teams. But in my opinion, let's go Yankees.
Right. I will say this: my favorite fan base is Met fans in April because they take over the world for a month, and then May 1st comes around, and then they don't. But honestly, last year they look good.
They have They also have great pitching this year.
They do.
Honestly.
Listen, they might completely.
But ultimately, it's the Mets, and they find a way to let you down most of the time. It's like being a Knicks fan. It's like
kind of sounds like that other blue and orange team.
Yeah, listen, you don't have to tell me.
I think they need to just change their color.
The Knicks were up by 21 and lost to the Brooklyn Nets last night because they suck. Sorry. Because all we've done all year is have 20-point leads and blow them in the third and fourth quarter because that's the Knicks. We're not gonna get
That Stephen A. Smith video is the funniest.
I can't do it. Speaking of letdowns, though, we're gonna take a step over to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Do it.
And I know there's somebody who's a Lakers fan. The Los Angeles Lakers were knocked out of playoff contention after the 7th consecutive loss of the season. This is the 4th time in LeBron James' career that he's not going to be a playoff in the playoffs. The Lakers came into the season with title hopes. They traded for Russell Westbrook. They signed Carmelo Anthony. Both aging superstars at this point. And ultimately, what ended up happening is, I'll give you a quick rundown. LeBron missed 20-plus games this year due to injury. He is 37. He plays a lot of minutes. Anthony Davis played just 39 games out of a possible 79 so far. Might not finish the rest of the season. So he's played half the season, and he's the first or second best player on the team. Russell Westbrook's numbers are down across the board after averaging near a triple-double for every other team he's been on. His numbers are all down, and every time you turn on ESPN, Russell Wilson is clanking shots off the side of the back.
Are you talking about Russell
Brick.
Russell Bricks.
Yeah, Russell Bricks. Yeah. So, I mean, ultimately, I think what happened for the Lakers this season, I'll summarize it myself. I think Russell Westbrook's not a fit alongside LeBron James. I think that's ultimately what Lakers fans need to comprehend. They should have went for somebody to play the point guard position who's more of a shooter, because traditionally, every time LeBron James has been successful in his career, he's the guy with the ball in his hands, making all the playmaking happen, getting other people involved. And that's also Westbrook's role. So when you do that, the two are going to collide all the time. So they should have went with whether that's more of a John Wall, a Damian Lillard made that push for somebody who's more of a shooter to complement him and Anthony Davis better. They would have had more of a shot. But ultimately, at this point, all I'll say is, if you look at everything in a microcosm, LeBron James has 1 year left on his contract with the Los Angeles Lakers. He has not signed an extension yet. And if he doesn't sign an extension, here's the other part that I think people need to keep in mind. Bronny James is going to be in the NBA by 2023. His son.
Oh, wow.
LeBron has always said his ultimate goal is to play for his son. And nothing would be more trolly to me than the Knicks drafting Bronny and forcing LeBron to come over. So please make it happen, because he hates the Knicks so much, and I love every minute of it.
Oh, that would be so
good.
Wow.
Now, what would be great is if they draft him and then the Knicks actually go to the damn championship.
Right, exactly. Imagine the troll that it would be
if
the Knicks are competitive.
Yep, and Mike JC also loves when LeBron loses.
100%. I feel like a lot of us are like that. There's a lot of like, listen, I'm all good on LeBron, but like, also the Lakers just don't have a lot. Here's the thing. The Lakers did what the Rams did in football. They went all in, they traded their picks, they traded everything away. They don't have cap room, but it failed. So ultimately what happens now is the Lakers are going to get stuck in a situation where if they can't convince LeBron, they could build a contender around him next year and for years forward. They're going to lose him, and they're going to end up starting completely from scratch, which for Lakers fans is you're jumping on the grenade.
And where do you think LeBron wants to go?
Where do I think LeBron wants to? Where do I think he wants to go? I'll tell everybody where he's going to end up.
He's going back to Cleveland.
He's going. Thank you. Who is that? Who said that?
It was James, right? Yeah, it was James.
LeBron James. Mark my words. Forget the Knicks thing I said. It's trolly. It's not happening. LeBron James is going to make his way back to Cleveland for one more title run. The Cleveland Cavaliers are currently the 6th or 7th seed in the East. If they added LeBron, they'd be a top 3 team in the East, no problem. LeBron's going to find a way to go back to Cleveland and make one more championship run for 3 more years and play till he's 40.
So
that's what's going to happen.
Okay, so here's the thing. When they first put this Lakers super team together, I was one of the first people that was completely against it, because when you start to average out, you got AD, you got LeBron, you got Russ, you got all of these people want the ball.
Everybody.
So if I'm normally doing 25, 30 points a game, there's no way to like maintain those numbers. I already knew that Russ and LeBron were going to have a problem, because Russ wants the ball. Like, he'll clang it for like 4 quarters and he don't give a damn. You give him the ball, he's just going to go. And I knew that was going to be a point of contention. AD went there because of LeBron, but after all these other guys showed up, he didn't want to be there anymore. So now, if you really look, like, he's like falling down. He's like the biggest thing on. Oh, my ankle. Oh, my back. Oh, my knee. Like, he doesn't want to play there anymore.
And my crack.
So I'm not surprised. I've been telling people from day one, this thing's not gonna last 2 seconds. And now everybody there. These are some of the best players in the NBA, and they're knocked out of the playoffs. What does that say?
Honestly,
stop making super teams.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Anthony Davis wound up getting traded this offseason, because he hasn't played more than a half a season in 3 years now. They won the championship, and every year after that, he's been injured. And I'm not talking like, oh, I got a bruised pinky. I'm talking like he's got an ankle injury. He's got a knee injury. He's got like soft tissue injuries just add up on people over time.
Yeah.
And I just feel like for him and the Lakers and LeBron James and everybody involved, it might be best suited to move that contract somewhere else and try to get more players as opposed to the big talent that is Anthony Davis around him at this point. You might be able to salvage something and maybe have a playoff team there, is my point. Right? But ultimately, I could see a scenario where Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook are not back on the Lakers next year if they could help it. I think they might try to move on from both of them and just start over.
I would just wipe out the whole fucking team.
It's hard.
I'm the Lakers fan, but as soon as LeBron came over, I was like, yeah, we're going back to shit. So
they actually might have a chance if they build the team around Russ and get rid of everybody else. To be honest,
they do. You LeBron James has always needed shooters his whole career. You need to surround him with people who average over 30 to 40% from the 3-point.
Yeah, but isn't he talking to what's the guy's name from Golden State?
Steph Curry? You mean the best 3-point shooter in the history of the NBA? But do you think LeBron's stupid? Of course he's going to talk to the best 3-point shooter in the history of the NBA.
You're like, no.
He's not going to go to Golden State.
We don't want him. We don't want him.
He's going to end up back on Cleveland. He's going to recruit other shooters. Yeah. Cleveland has a good young team, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
And Cleveland's team is all under 25. They're all talented. Two All-Stars this year, both under 25. LeBron's going to look at that and go, oh, I can't wait to go back, play with these young guys. Fresh legs.
I don't think they want him. I would not be surprised if these young guys do not want to play with LeBron.
Exactly.
It wouldn't surprise me either, to be honest with you. He commands a lot of attention and respect.
When LeBron went to Miami during the Dwayne Wade era, I told people, like, it's no longer Dwayne Wade's team. It's now LeBron's team. And people didn't believe me until he got there and it became LeBron's team. Yep. If LeBron shows up in Cleveland, it's now LeBron's team. So these guys that have worked and bust their ass when there was no LeBron there are going to lose their popularity. They're going to lose their standing. So I don't think they would really want to play with him. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing good without him. They need some help, but they don't want somebody that's going to steal a whole show. And we know LeBron is the show.
And then all those assholes that burned their jerseys when he left. Hey, guess what?
Now all of a sudden that becomes a real thing.
Dumbass.
I want to see the dude who got the tattoo of LeBron's jersey on his body. I want to see what he is. That's the guy I want to find. That's the guy I want to find.
Oh, I can put it back down.
All right, so I'm going to wrap it up with this last topic, and it was one that I brought up to Leo and Abel before I got here. I feel like it quietly went under the radar a little bit, but I did just want to mention it because it felt interesting to me. 2 other African-American coaches joined Brian Flores' lawsuit against the NFL, alleging racial discrimination. So for those of you who don't know, Brian Flores filed basically a grievance against the NFL, stating that he was wrongly fired, and then in retrospect not brought into real consideration for another head coaching job despite having success with the Miami Dolphins. So the 2 coaches who joined in were former Cardinals head coach Steve Wilkes and longtime assistant coach Ray Horton. Wow. Both of them have said the following in regards to being part of the lawsuit. Steve Wilkes was basically brought into the Cardinals. He was basically given the head coaching job for 1 season and then immediately let go after the Cardinals had nothing on the roster to supply him with. Whereas most of the time, if you're a head coach in the NFL, you get usually the rule is you get 2 or 3 draft classes to kind of figure it out, right. Draft some of the guys you want, and build the team up that way. Wilkes was let go after 1 season. So he's alleging that he was basically a bridge coach and a scapegoat and hired for the 1 season and then just immediately replaced with for lack of a better term, a white coach from college, Cliff Kingsbury, who's now currently the coach of the Cardinals and coaching Kyler Murray, and the Cardinals have had some better success since then. And the other assistant coach, Ray Horton, he's been a longtime assistant coach in the NFL, multiple years. He claims that he's been brought into multiple interviews. I think one namely was with the Tennessee Titans, and he claims that he was only brought in because of the Rooney Rule in the NFL, which for, again, those of you who maybe don't know, the Rooney Rule basically establishes that NFL teams must interview 1 minority candidate at least. Wilkes is basically Horton is basically claiming that he was brought in on a number of those interviews for basically just to be that guy to fill the void, just to be the minority candidate, and then never given the opportunity to actually coach a team when he more than deserved it over some other people who got jobs.
Right.
But are we surprised? No.
We're definitely not surprised.
Of course not. To be honest with you,
hey, how you doing? All right, that's good. Bye.
I mean, to be honest with you, the NFL definitely has an issue. From my perspective, I mean, I usually don't like to talk about race. It's an uncomfortable topic, obviously, for a lot of people personally. But to me, the Rooney Rule is a joke. I'll be completely frank with everybody at this table and everybody in this call right now. The fact of the matter is, if you kind of look at it from an aspect, the Rooney Rule is kind of racist in and of itself. It kind of basically makes the minority candidate feel like they have a shot at an opportunity when realistically some coaches, and not coaches, some people who run teams, I mean, you could call it what you want. I'll sit here and call it like it is because that's the type of guy I am. A majority of the owners in the NFL are older white men with millions and billions of dollars.
What?
So if they don't see the minority coaching candidate as the real candidate and the leader of men, then it's going to manipulate the ability of that coach to get a job. It's just the fact of the matter. And the coaches obviously that I'll applaud here, and the fan bases, or I should say the organizations I'll applaud here. Mike Tomlin's been head coach of the Steelers for a number of years now. He's a phenomenal head coach, and he deserves it. Todd Bowles was recently just appointed head coach because Bruce Arians stepped down from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's another one. And then off the top of my head, I can't think of any others. I think I'm missing one, but I'm not 100% certain. But all I'll say is the Rooney Rule should be abolished. And honestly, this is how it goes with most jobs in America, according to me. It's the best man gets a job regardless of skin color. That's how I feel about it. And I hope the NFL finds a way to make it a more balanced system and fair for everybody involved.
Until the NFL freaking gets a black owner, that's never going to happen.
Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars owner is, I don't want to say it incorrectly, but he's Middle Eastern or Indian. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. But he's considered a minority owner.
How many years?
So to speak. I think one. I'm pretty sure. Off the top
for how many years?
I think he's had the Jaguars for like 5 years, 4 or 5. He recently, very recently.
And how long has the NFL been on?
Okay,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Decades.
Decades.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you get one. All right. So that's the sports section. New topic. Another shot. Yes, Jesus Christ. Yes.
Well,
suck it up, buttercups.
Another one.
All right. Great. So here we go with the Morbius review.
Morbius. Oh.
Morbius.
All right, who do you want?
I'm going first.
You're gonna go first?
So I'm going to be very clear. I haven't seen this movie. I'm not going to see this movie. I'm not giving Sony my money. It's not going to happen. I watched every review under the sun. I spoiled the crap out of this movie myself because I just refuse to let Sony ruin things for me anymore. I'm not going to let them do it, okay? I'm going to start with Jared Leto. I am sure he did fine. Bringing Morbius into these movies, like, great. Let's bring him into the universe, But let's just be honest. This was a movie that was supposed to come out before the pandemic, and it didn't. It got delayed. They changed No Way Home to whatever they changed it to from what it was from, and Sony had to definitely change whatever they had going on in that movie before the fact. Okay. There was and correct me if I'm wrong because I haven't seen this movie, but the whole Spider-Man's a murderer poster removed. The Oscorp logo from the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy removed. Right. And the Vulture in the actual movie itself, not so much the post-credit scenes removed. Removed. Okay. So those were like the big three. I know I'm getting to the post credits.
No.
What?
But the Daily Bugle was.
Oh no, the Daily Bugle was. They mentioned Rhino.
Right. They mentioned other things.
Chameleon's gonna be in the new Craven movie, and like that's fine. But you know what? You took big draws out of this movie that I saw in a trailer, which got me hyped. That's false advertising. Don't tell me it's not. That shit is false advertising. You took big things out of a trailer that I was excited to see out of the movie completely, right? And all right, so going back to Jared Leto, the blood. There was no real blood in this movie. There was blue synthetic blood, right? Do I have that right?
There was
Yeah,
there was some real blood,
there was real blood.
but he was eating blue synthetic blood. Am I right?
It was red.
It was a mixture of both.
It was a mixture, and how was he doing it every time?
Out of a pack.
Yeah,
like a Capri Sun.
Out of a pack. Let me ask you a question. In the comics, did Morbius do that, or did he eat people? Right? Now, would you now looking at this movie as a whole, would you say he's an anti-hero or a hero? What do they portray him as? Did he want to do all the good for people, and maybe what do he want to do? Oh, was he a hero? Yeah, he was a hero, right? Not an anti-hero like Venom, right? Right? And listen, I'm not saying the Venom movies are like the greatest thing on the planet. That's right. You guys get to. I'm just giving you the outsider perspective of a person who didn't see this movie and will probably never see this movie. Okay. All right. The woman, the doctor, who I felt very passionate about.
Passionately.
Right. How long was she in the movie?
Pretty decent.
She was in the mountain.
Yeah.
But like, she died, or like she got almost killed, or what was it? How did she die?
I mean, are we just going full spoilers?
No, we've said that. Full spoilers.
So towards the end of the movie, she was killed by the person who.
Right.
What's the guy's name?
Right, who had an awesome dance scene in the mirror.
Right, yes.
Like a vampire. Except he didn't do it as good as Tobey Maguire in the black suit.
But then it turned out that Morbius basically turned her into a vampire as well.
Sure.
Right?
Sure, right.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And now listen, I heard there might have been a couple of fight scenes in this movie that was a lot of fun. Right? There were, right? But let me ask you a question. When the fight scenes happened, was the camera moving around like you couldn't tell who anyone was? Or was it actually like
it was slow motion?
It was slow. Is that what it was?
They slow motioned it.
They slow motioned it.
So basicly, they were moving at super speed because of the bat thing. The fact that they were basically mimicking sonar, right? Right. So they had to slow everything that was going on for you to see.
Right. I understand. Really I get it. Okay. I get it. Listen, Brent, like I said, you want to force this Sinister Six on us? You want to give me Morbius and fucking Kraven the Hunter and maybe the Chameleon who's like been casted and then like the Vulture, Adrian Toomes. Let's get to the post-credit scene. Let's get to both post-credit scenes right now. The first post-credit scene of this freaking movie is the sky opening up and Adrian Toomes, who was Michael Keaton played so great in Homecoming. Like I liked him as a villain. He did well. Like his interaction with Spider-Man was great. He gets in a jail cell, and what is the first thing he says in the post-credit scene?
I don't know how I got here.
And then what he says? Hope there's good food here.
There's good food here. Yeah.
Hope there's good food here. I hope there's good food here. Right, and then he just gets released because we don't know who Adrian Toomes is. He doesn't exist in this universe. We just let him go. We just say, yeah, you know what? You just go. You're not in jail. Go ahead. And then the second scene, somehow this guy materializes a suit. He materializes the same suit from the Tom Holland universe. He just materializes it.
No. I'm gonna correct you. I'm gonna correct you.
Go ahead.
That suit is actually from the Amazing Spider-Man.
Is it actually?
It is. It's the suit from the Amazing Spider-Man in one of those cases.
Okay, great.
That's displayed in the Amazing
Spider-Man. What universe is it set in? Right.
I don't know. I don't know if it
you don't know, but still. Morbius is driving his car and stops in the middle of nowhere, and here comes Vulture in his Amazing Spider-Man Vulture suit.
No, he actually called him. Come on, man.
Oh, did he call? Okay, I'm sorry. They got on a phone call and they met in a random field, and here comes Adrian Toomes, the villain that I like, just on. I actually really like the mask.
The mask was cool.
I really like
how it was cool.
They fixed the mask and it looked right. And then what did he say? Oh, I don't know why I'm here, but I think it has something to do with Spider-Man. Which one? It's Tom Holland Spider-Man? Sure, like maybe. I don't know. No one knows. But then he says, oh, a couple guys like us, maybe we should team up. And you know what? Jared Leto's incredible acting lets him say, interesting. Cut to black. He's not wrong. Oh my God! Listen, no, I'm done with Sony. I'm not giving them my money. I will watch this movie for free. That's fine, but like Jesus Christ, please stop. Sony, please stop. Don't make Kraven. Like just don't even do it.
It's already in production.
Aaron Taylor, whatever the hell his name is.
Taylor Johnson.
Like, you know what? He might even be a good Craven, but like you're gonna ruin the movie. You're gonna ruin the freaking movie. You're gonna kill it. It's gonna suck. I'm telling you, it's gonna suck. Stop it. I'm done. I'm done.
Abel, tell me how you really feel about this.
Yeah, okay. Now tell us how you really feel,
You know
Abel.
what?
Say how you really feel, bro.
That was great.
I don't want to ever talk about this movie ever again on this fucking podcast. Leo, you go.
Okay. So after that, oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna go out and live here. All right, hold on. Let me stand over here. I'm gonna say the movie was not that bad. It was not that bad. Oh my god. The movie was not that bad. For me, it's not great. Don't get me wrong, it's not fucking great.
It sure the fuck isn't.
It is not great. For me, the movie had okay, so 3 scenes that I didn't like. The fucking cat thing. Okay, dumb as shit.
Come here, Witness. Come on, Witness. I'm shaking your litter box. Come on.
Did you shake a litter box?
He did.
Yes, he did.
You shook a litter box.
He shook a litter box. Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay, all right. I got you.
No, I don't think you do.
You told me. Come on.
All right, I'm done.
Oh, gosh.
God, you made me forget the other one. What the fuck was the other one? The whole dancing in the mirror thing. Yeah, didn't fucking need that. Yeah, that was fucking horrible. And I'm sorry, you downplayed fucking Tyrese's role in this.
I forgot about Tyrese and his robot arm. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. How did I forget about that? He should have jerked himself off with his robot.
Oh!
Nothing else happened. Sorry, I'm done.
Oh!
He was on a Southwest flight.
All right. All right, but it's watchable. Yes, it is. It is watchable. It's not great. It's far from great, but it is watchable because the action in the movie is good. The sonar done superb. The CGI superb. Jared Leto. It's Tobey Maguire all over again, basically. That's all I have to say. It's a good movie to watch, but it's not going to be like, hey, I want to watch another one. It's not. That's my whole take. All right, who's next?
Mr. Aaron.
Send over to me.
Going right
All
to
right.
Aaron.
All right. I'm gonna start this with I literally saw it at a matinee this afternoon, so I'm fresh. I'm fresh off the scene, just so everybody here knows what's going on. I'm kind of in the same boat as Leo, as in I didn't hate the movie. I watched the movie. I enjoyed myself to an extent. The CGI was very good. There were scenes where I went, oh, that really wasn't necessary. Like the cat litter box thing was weird. I will also tell you, I just want to preface this with, because I know we've had this conversation about Marvel a couple different times. There was a scene in the movie, not very early on, but somewhat early on, where Michael Morbius first gets his powers, and he's on the boat. And since the movie's rated PG-13, he slashed a guy's throat, and there was no blood, so it just looked very fucking awkward. I don't curse a lot, but it just looked very awkward. Like, he literally slit dude's throat and there was no blood, but there was a sound of blood, but there was no blood there.
It's okay, just make it blue.
So no, it wasn't even blue. There was just no blood. But you heard the sound of blood spatter, but there was no blood. Yeah. So it was awkward. I was like, I don't know why this is happening right now. It's kind of weird, because at that point, just let him eat all the guys on there, suck all the blood on the ship, and it'd be over. I didn't get it. But I was like, okay. But outside of that, like Leo said, the CGI was well done. The sonar I thought was really cool. Yeah. I enjoyed the shit out of how they did the sonar with the breathing and I thought it was really cool. The blood kind of annoyed me with the synthetic blood a little bit. It kind of got on my nerves, because I was like at this point you're making him look like more of a hero than an anti-hero. Like, you're not making him look like he's anything sort of a bad guy. Until the very end with the post-credit scene, which is just bizarre to me. I don't know why they went that route, but it's Sony, so this is what they do. But outside of that, like I didn't like. I liked the fight scenes. I thought the movie's plot made sense. It was a little drawn out. It got a little boring at times. I was like, okay, but I probably wouldn't go back and watch it again. I'm just gonna end with the post-credit scenes because this is the part that really irritated the shit out of me. So first off, like Abel said, they dropped Vulture in a cell, and it was just like, oh, I'm here because of the snap that happened from Doctor Strange. At least that's what it seems like, right? The snap happened. Vulture disappeared to this universe. Yeah. He fell out of the blue sky, and he was just dropped into this universe. What universe? We're thinking. I'm personally, from everything in the movie, the Daily Bugle, all that, I'm thinking he's in the Amazing Spider-Man universe. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'm gonna sit here and go. I don't know. So I'll finish with the second post-credit scene, and I'll just say this: I didn't understand how Morbius went from being such a hero-looking character to all of a sudden Vulture just coming up to him and saying, I'm here because of Spider-Man. And him being like, that's interesting. Let me think about that. All of a sudden, I want to be a bad guy. Makes no sense. Makes zero fucking sense for the context of the movie. Either portray him as a bad guy and make him eat more people and get more blood, or make him out to be the anti-hero he's supposed to be. One way or the other. Don't make it weird. They made it weird. That's what happened. All of a sudden now it's like, oh, I was a pretty good guy who got rid of the really bad guy, but now all of a sudden I want to be a bad guy and fuck up Spider-Man. Makes no sense. Makes no logical sense.
Intriguing.
What I will say is afterwards, I went and I thought about it, and this is where I'm going to go out on a limb and state what I have to state here. I really think, Leo seems to think that it's Tom Holland. I'm going to go out on a limb here and put myself out there. I really think Sony's going to try for the Amazing Spider-Man 3. I really do. I think the newspaper, the Daily Bugle, showing up sets up the Amazing Spider-Man 3. I think it's going to end up being Morbius, Vulture, Aaron Taylor Johnson's Kraven, Harry Osborn from the Amazing Spider-Man 2, Doc Ock, and I thought about it being Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio, but I'm going to flip it on the script and say it's Tom Hardy's Venom. There's your 6.
Yeah.
I think it's that sinister 6. Sony's going to force it on us. Andrew's going to fight his alien.
Right.
He's going to fight his alien.
They're going to say Sugma.
Right. Tom Holland's not involved because he's over at Marvel doing his 3 pictures. Either that, or the other thing I'm going to go on a limb and say is, if it's not that and it's not just Andrew Garfield, because I think it's Andrew Garfield. If it's not, I think Andrew Garfield looks at that Sinister 6 and goes, I need help. Let me bring in Toby. Let me bring in Tom Holland to help me for this one movie. We'll beat them, and then they'll go back to their universes somehow with the power of Doctor Strange and some bitches. That's the only thing that I can see. That's the only thing that I can see happening. Because outside of that, I'm telling you right now, Sony, Sony, I said this to everybody here on multiple calls. If Sony fucks this up, you're not getting my money again. If you fuck it up, I'm done. Make it good, or don't do another fucking movie with Spider-Man. Please just give the rights to Marvel, to the MCU, and the fight. Please, I'm begging you, please.
They've already.
You're about to save a lot of money.
They didn't though, because it could be cool. It could be really freaking cool.
Except they won't.
It could be though. Imagine another 3 Spider-Man movie with that Sinister 6.
But they won't do.
They
won't do 3. You know why? Because they're just gonna bring in Tom Holland because that's their Spider-Man.
No, but
they've already claimed that their Spider-Man.
You could easily bring back. Bring back Maguire as older Spider-Man. You could,
but they won't.
You could. We need older Spider-Man's help one more time.
Why would they bring him back?
One movie. One more.
They're not going to.
I'm telling you, it's possible.
They're not going to. Tom Holland right now is their moneymaker. Exactly. They feel
that's
feel
wrong.
like they own
Tom
them.
Holland is Marvel's moneymaker. The Feige's, he's their moneymaker.
Except Sony owns the rights.
Right. But it doesn't make sense to bring him over from another universe. It makes no sense.
It doesn't matter what you.
It makes no conceptual sense.
Sony right now just sees Tom Holland and sees money.
Can I ask you a question though? Dead seriously.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I know everybody over there is waiting patiently.
It's fine.
Dead serious question though. How does it make sense to bring Tom Holland back over to Sony, right? Hypothetically.
Right, I'm gonna tell you.
You left a piece of the Venom symbiote at the end of No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
So there's gonna be another something to do with Venom in this Marvel universe. Why are you having to fight Venom twice? What sense does it make?
I'm gonna tell you.
You're saying money that doesn't make sense.
Stop the money. I'm gonna tell you right now. There was a quote by Kevin that said that Tom Holland has found the way to web sling between universes. That's all Sony needed to hear.
No, I don't care.
It doesn't matter if you don't care. You know why? Because Adrian Toomes didn't care when he got
so wait a minute. It doesn't
matter.
You're gonna tell me hypothetically Tom Holland is going to fight Tom Hardy's
Yes.
Venom in another movie.
That's correct.
And then he's going to come back to Marvel's universe
Yes.
and fight another variant of Venom in Marvel's universe.
That is
based
correct.
on the symbiote.
Yeah.
That is correct.
If that's what happens,
let me.
they have
this. That is correct.
This guy has a microphone for emphasis right now. I'm not kidding. Sony and Marvel, whatever you have planned, you're gonna ruin Tom Holland. You're gonna ruin him. You're gonna ruin him. You're gonna ruin the kid's career. I'm sorry. He's been great.
I don't think that's happening.
Makes no
I don't
sense.
think that's happening.
I think Andrew Garfield's coming back to the Amazing Spider-Man.
I
want it.
I'm telling you.
I agree with you on that.
I don't know.
I'll let everybody else go.
All right, we're going to Wendell.
So, okay. Kitty litter doesn't work for me.
Maybe no for you, dog. Maybe no for you, dog.
It was ridiculous.
I'll preface it all and I'll say this. I did not go to a theater to watch this. I will not go to the theater to watch this. I watched it on a crappy cam. Thank you to the bootlegger. Yeah, I did it. I don't care.
Me and you, brother. Me and you.
Okay. My picture was dark, and I didn't give a crap. I think it helped me get through the movie. Done. That being said, I'm just gonna, whatever the movie is, what it is. Nice. Thank you. Bye. End credit scene. I will tell you why this is Andrew Garfield's universe. Vulture can't come from Tom Holland's universe and be in Tom Holland's universe, and they don't know that he's supposed to be in jail. He had to go somewhere else where he is actually Adrian Toomes, not in jail. Okay, so that's it. The Daily Bugle, from what I was able to see in my crappy cam version, looks like the Daily Bugle from Garfield's universe.
Mm.
That is where I believe this is all going to happen. Sony saw the cash cow in giving him another movie because everybody was geeked up to see the three of them together. And, Maguire got his 3. Andrew was the only person who got 2 flicks.
Yep. But listen, I hope you're right.
This is the doorway to give him his 3rd. I believe Aaron is right. We're going to get that Sinister Six lineup. Venom will be a part of it.
I hope so.
Okay? Because Venom is in that world. He's just in California.
Snapback or whatever.
Wait, time out. By the way, I didn't see the movie, but did he do the I Am Venom thing?
He did.
Oh, he did?
He
okay.
did.
All right. So there
He
you
did
go.
the We Are
We Are Venom? Okay,
and then he said,
good.
just kidding. No, it's not part of it.
There you go. All right.
Morbius.
So that is going to happen. They bring Garfield back. I'll go to the movies for Garfield. Morbius, on the other hand, I'll wait till it's free somewhere and I'll watch it again with decent lighting.
Listen, I'll go to the movies for Garfield too. Garfield 100%. Was done wrong. He's a great Spider-Man, and he deserves his moment. He does.
So, that's how I feel. I just love I love what could come of this. That's what I'm excited to see. Marvel won't have any hand in it, so you're gonna have to deal with Sony's type of stuff there. Hopefully it'll be enough with bringing Garfield back that it'll make it decent and palatable. Holland is gonna stay in his universe, and Holland's gonna don the black suit, and he's going to be the Black Spider-Man. Probably for Secret Wars. Who knows? It's weird. It could happen. But as for Morbius, yeah, I'll watch it when it's free, but probably not.
Literally that. All right, we're gonna hit Charles. Charles, talk to us. What do you think?
Well, I didn't see the movie. I didn't catch it yet. I will eventually see it because I am a fan of vampires, and obviously I feel like this is a catalyst to the all horror stuff that's coming. I would love for them to. I know Amy Pascal at Sony and Kevin Feige are really close friends, which is why the No Way Home even happened. I do feel that they're. I mean, as far as the movie, I have to reserve judgment because I haven't seen it yet. But I will say that a lot of times, what I feel with some of these movies, sometimes you get the best version when they are released on Blu-ray, because sometimes they put deleted scenes or they cut out certain scenes that should have been in the film, that may give it a little bit more of a better storytelling perspective. So a lot of times I like to watch certain movies for that, certain movies at home for that purpose. Um, it, a lot of people who are have seen it. I've heard so many, I heard some people say it wasn't that bad. I heard some people say it was good. Heard some people obviously say it was, they didn't like it. Um, but I will say that there's always ways to clean things up. You know, I'm hoping that Marvel and Sony play nice. You know,
Yeah, I think we all are.
I really am. I'm hoping that they play nice and that eventually we get to see Mobius and Blade and some of these. I would love to see this happen. So again, I will definitely. I know you guys don't want to hear talk about Mobius again on this podcast.
It's all good. Just the movie. Like, listen, like the character itself, like,
yeah,
like do it right. Just give it to me right.
Right.
Let the Vikings consult on the film. Don't let them make it. Just consult on it. Exactly. This is what we would do differently. I will guarantee you that. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Charles. I'll guarantee you, if two other things were in that post-credit scene, nobody would be complaining about it the way it was. If we would have gotten the reveal of which main Spider-Man it was, and if you would have gotten something more along the lines of why the Vulture and Morbius relationship started. Yeah. If you got those two pieces of the information, that post-credit scene's not as bad as it is.
Where's the jail cell scene where it's like, oh, Michael Morbius?
That's what I'm saying. Like there's just it seems like Sony's just missing information. They didn't give us
so much.
They cut stuff out of the movie. Yeah. And if they would have given it to us, we would have been like, okay, cool, I can get on board. Yeah. Nobody here is going to tell me we're all fans of comic books. We saw a pseudo Sinister Six in No Way Home. Yep. Nobody here is going to tell me that if there was a new Sinister Six with Venom in it, you wouldn't be into it. Right. There's no way. Yeah. There's no way we'd all be into it. Yep. But it's Sony, so we're all like,
yeah. But also too, I mean, you got to think about the contractual thing. So I believe Tom Holland's in renegotiation. If there are planning some future films with Andrew Garfield, that's also another, contract negotiation as well. And obviously, if they do go with Toby, that's another transaction. So I think they just played it safe. They said Spider-Man is around, but not to put their foot in their mouth, but just in case they Andrew Garfield don't go through with it, or Tom Holland don't go through with it. So I guess they just wanted to maybe show that there's a possibility. There's a Spider-Man, but not necessarily committing to which Spider-Man it is. Maybe that's the case, for now. They just wanted to play it safe.
Right. All right. Last but not least, Big Chase. Talk to us about Morbius.
Okay, so let's discuss Morbius. So I don't know about you guys, but I got a Blade slash I can't think of it right now, but so my problem is this: we've done more than enough vampire movies for you to do something that's really original. Morbius was not edgy. They did not reinvent the wheel. It just at times was lacking. And this goes back to what I said before about a lot of these movies. They have to make family movies. Morbius as a story, deserves a much darker feel than what's there. But I get it. It's got to be a family movie and all of that. So, okay, fine. His powers, the echolocation I thought was reasonably cool as an effect in all of that. Everything else to me was just lacking. Like, the fight scenes were okay, but, I've seen all this stuff before. It was very Blade meets John Wick for me. And not with the action. Like, just looked like John Wick, but the vampire scenes were very Blade, the first Blade. And it was
not tarnished Blade like that.
Yeah,
it was just. I know I'm not saying it was like Blade. I'm just saying it was very Blade-ish. Like they saw Blade, it was like, ooh, let's do that too. You know, like,
there will be no slandering Wesley Snipes on this podcast. We're not doing that.
Like, ooh, let's do that too. That was very cool. The story overall, it wasn't. No, let me say this. It was not a bad movie. It wasn't a bad movie. But it could have been so much better. It could have been so much better. A lot of little breadcrumbs that they're trying to leave, the end credits and all of that. I've come to realize that I never bite into too much of these things because you don't know where they're really going with that. They don't leave you enough for you to kind of figure it out. And, you know, and what's my rule about origin films? You have to live through it because, you know, just getting the powers, you got to see the powers, you got to figure the powers out. They give him a villain, you know, give him a love interest, and now you know the story. So now we have to wait till part 2 to see if this thing is, you know, actually going to, you know, sprout any fruit, or if it's going to be just, you know, another bridge movie because we need to put him in here so that this other movie can happen. And lastly, let's just do the numbers. So No Way Home had 3 Spider-Mans. We need to do Spider-Man number 3, and we need to double the amount of villains so that there's a Sinister 6. So yeah, you know, and you know what? Honestly, what I think is that Sony is trying to write themselves into the story of the MCU. So they're like taking their own angle to these things and hope that at some point it will all meet and whatnot. And that's why a lot of things don't make sense. You know, as Charles was saying, we hope that they play well. I personally hope that Marvel hits them in the head with a shovel and just takes the whole thing from them.
Please,
because
please.
They do, you know, they're killing it. They're dragging their feet. They're not edgy. We've been spoiled with films like, you know, Infinity War and Endgame and Black Panther. So where does this fit? Because even, you know, the worst Spider-Man movies was better than this thing.
Yep.
So, you know, they're really tanking. They're tanking. It's terrible.
Yep.
They just got to get this thing right. Like, I don't know what's wrong with Sony. I think they're just playing it too middle of the road. You got to do something that's edgy. Like, Sony's known for its technology. So a movie that's based on technology should be like, you know, one of the best things you ever seen.
Yep. I agree. Go ahead, Aaron.
I know we're on a time crunch, but I just want to end off with one more thing. I want to ask you guys all a question because this has been rattling in my mind all day as well, right? Right after I saw the movie. The end of No Way Home, we saw Electro say, "It's got to be a Black Spider-Man out there, right?"
Love that.
We saw him say it.
Yeah.
Now, everybody here would kind of agree with me that it would be cool to see Tobey Maguire back again, but based on his age and everything, he might not be willing to do it. Correct or incorrect?
What, on Tobey?
Tobey Maguire.
Oh, no, he might not.
He might not be willing to do it.
He said it has to feel right.
He said it has to feel right, right? Hypothetically, hear me out. This is a thought that's been rattling in my mind all day.
I think I know where you're going.
The end of this year, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse comes out, which is the Miles Morales second film, right? The cartoon film, the animated film.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What if hypothetically
Don't say it.
Sony hits us with a Across the Spider-Verse, and somewhere along the lines, Miles Morales gets casted into real life and dropped into the Sonyverse to go along with Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland?
I will personally go in the film and drag his ass back to the MCU.
Thank you.
You will not fuck this up for us.
Miles Morales has to be coming.
No, Miles Morales
is coming.
Miles Morales.
Oh, he's coming.
But he's not owned by Sony.
He's not owned by Sony? That was my thought.
Are you sure?
Are you sure he's not? Because they've done 2 movies now.
Dude,
Or they're
I
doing 2
don't know
movies.
if that's right.
No.
They don't own the properties for Miles?
No, not Miles.
Not Miles, no.
Only Spider-Man, Peter Parker.
Only Peter Parker.
Only Peter Parker.
Only Peter Parker.
Interesting.
MCU owns fucking Spider.
Because ever since
that's why they created Miles to that's why Marvel created Miles to go against Sony.
Yep.
That's what I saw before.
The thought that's been rattling in my mind is I'm talking about forget Sony, forget all that for a second. Ever since we saw that line in No Way Home, my thought was they're gonna find a way to incorporate Miles Morales and like basically have him as a replacement for Maguire at some point down the road.
No.
Or I'm not saying he's gonna be another, but I'm saying he'll be a live action Spider-Man, and they'll have another one to go with Holland and maybe Garfield in a movie.
Yeah, no, it's going to be in MCU. It's going to be in the MCU.
Fair. But I'm fine with that. I'm actually great with that.
Yeah, no,
I would not want to see him with Garfield or Maguire. I'd much rather him be a part of the MCU, as his story needs to be done correctly.
Yes.
And he needs the backing of Feige to come across properly. Yes. And anything less than the Feigeverse would be the ultimate disservice to him.
True.
Not disservice, disrespect.
And it'd be disrespectful. So, yeah, I want to see him. Yes, Electro's right. There is one, and he belongs to Kevin Feige.
Yes, and Electro needs to show up in that film.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be sick.
That would
based on Miles Morales' powers with the electric. It would be cool. It
would be sick.
Absolutely dope.
That's
to go
through.
My favorite line in that movie.
The 2-minute warning. I love Vulture, but not like this. Not this way.
Not this way.
Bro Breezy. I did not see Morbius, but I already told you all it was going to be bad. Looking forward to Multiverse of Madness.
Some bitches.
Well,
that's how you end this topic. Some bitches.
Some bitches.
Well, the other thing too, if they decide, if they got Miles Morales, right? If they do Miles, they can do Spider-Gwen as well, because I think Spider-Gwen is under MCU too.
Please.
I'm passionate about Spider-Gwen, even in the cartoon.
They could do Peter Porker in the MCU, and it'll be
what?
Yeah.
Because I think that's
going to be another animated though.
On that note, it's time for topic change, because we gotta keep it moving, guys. We could do this all night. That's the problem.
I could do this all day.
I could do this all day.
I could do this all day.
All right. Last but not least, Moon Knight episode 2.
Oh my gosh!
Who even wants to start with this?
I'll start with this one.
Go ahead.
God damn you, Marvel! I love you.
Right? And how worried were we about the darkness of Moon Knight and all that stuff? We were worried.
Wait.
Right, I know we'll get there.
We're not going. We're not taking it. I am still
skeptical.
Very skeptical. Whatever the fuck it is. That motherfucking word.
You didn't know the shot?
Yeah. All right.
You want another shot?
All right. So, the darkness in the movie so far. I understand that what you're doing, Marvel, not showing all the fight scenes. It's starting to piss me off. It's really starting to piss me off. I'm sorry. My man Spectre beats up 4 people, you don't get to see it.
Yeah.
He beats up a fucking a jackal, don't get to see it. I get to see him punch the shit out of him. Don't get to see him fucking hit the last blow. Then he takes out the 2 moons out of his chest, and he's smack. Give him the business. Don't get to see it. He's starting to piss me off. Let me see the blood in the hands. Give me something. Give me just a little taste. Just a little bit.
Violence.
Wait, I don't want to counter you, but we saw the jackal get impaled on the.
I saw that. Yes.
You know what I mean?
No, but I want.
That's pretty violent.
No. I want to see Moon Knight do the business.
Gratuitous violence. Gratuitous violence.
The motherfucking violence. I want vengeance. I want that.
Gratuitous violence.
I'm sorry. I am. Moon Knight is one of my favorite characters. Next to Wolverine, next to Deadpool, and next to Black Panther. But this man is dark. Mark Spector is dark. He's doing this for a reason. I want to see the blood. Give me the blood. I don't want to see cutscenes. I don't want to see invisible jackals. I don't want to see it anymore. Now we got Mark Spector in control of the body. The first 2 episodes, perfect. To introduce him, perfect. You got one more shot. After number 3 and number 4, if I don't see not one drop of blood, me and you won't be pissed off. Giving you a fucking warning right now.
So do you want like Morbius level blood, or do you want like?
I want
some Kool-Aid.
Real blood.
There was missing blood in Morbius.
Okay,
we heard blood.
Okay, I want blood. I want to see the violence.
There will be blood.
There should be blood. I'm sorry. Because if you're doing this way, if you fuck up Blade, whew, I'm gonna.
I am worried.
I'm gonna rip you a new one.
I'm worried.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rip you a new one. Because you can't hide that.
Because part of the coolness of Wesley Snipes' Blade was the violence.
Yes.
And
honestly.
The motherfucking cursing.
For sure.
All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. Everybody else there, I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to get too fucking violent.
I mean, I guess I'll go. So I took a couple notes while watching the episode. So the loss prevention person in me wants those screens that they have at the museum because that looked really cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
The security guard keeps calling him Scotty, and I'm kind of curious on like that's the 3rd time we've heard him called Scotty. And listen, it might be a mistake, it might not, but I feel like Marvel doesn't do all those things just to do it.
So, dick.
Right. I mean, I guess. The look that Mark gives the security footage, yo, Oscar Isaacs is a G. Yo, that man is an actor and a half. Like the fact that you can go into this show and be 2 different people, and honestly, we don't even know if he's going to be 3 or 4 different people.
But the problem is, you should have done Apocalypse better. Sucker.
All right, well, I mean, that
not his fault. Not his fault.
It has nothing to do with Moon Knight, and it was not his fault. It's a very Morbius situation. Anyway, I'm just going to continue here. The gold guy wasn't actually a statue. I actually thought he was a statue the whole time. I'm just going to sit here. I really thought he was a statue the whole time.
He's like his informant.
I don't know. Maybe I was drunk both times watching this. I don't know. But like, I didn't realize that guy wasn't a statue. I thought that was the whole thing.
From what I can get, again, I'm not the biggest Moon Knight guy, but he's an informant for one of the personalities.
Right, there's something going on there. Yeah, I don't know. But the Mark Steven dynamic in this episode was just amazing. Him just talking in the mirror and then like going to the storage unit and seeing everything in there and just like finally like him name dropping Khonshu and like him going through all that was just awesome. Khonshu in the storage unit was just creepy as hell. Like that was just really freaking cool. One question I had was like, how long has Mark really been with Khonshu, and like how long has Steven not known about this, and like is Steven something that Mark made up, or is Mark something that Steven made up? Like we really don't know which one it is, right? It could be either way, but Khonshu seems to resonate more with Mark, so I'm interested to see that. Ethan Hawke is just creepy as hell. I am here for every time Ethan Hawke and Oscar Isaacs are together. Their like banter back and forth is just amazing. Like him just like, oh, did he just say I exact justice, whatever the hell he said. Yeah. It's like, can I talk to Mark? Hey Mark, by the way, this isn't your last mission. Like that whole banter back and forth was awesome. Mr. Knight. Like so this is like a big contention right now with a lot of the comic book people versus like the people that are watching the show, which I actually want to hear from you guys because you guys are more on the comic book side, because a lot of people don't like this Mr. Knight thing, but I actually really like how goofy it was, and here's why: because he threw that punch and threw that thing, like whatever it was, and like it's almost like I don't know how he was in the comics, but like they're gonna build up to him, like maybe they do some combat training with him at some point down the line, or maybe he learns how to fight, whatever it is, but like they're eventually going to let this man fight. I mean, he pulled out the batons. He was really funny about it. Yes, it was goofy. It was very odd. There were some points of it, but, like, I didn't think it was that bad. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I was okay with it. Like, his potential strength and everything, he took a good beating, and then he lets Mark take over and just put on the suit. And that whole run scene was amazing. By the way, if you look back at that run scene, there's a point where he looks at his reflection and actually Mr. Knight is running with him. I don't know if anyone saw that.
I didn't see
Oh
that.
yeah. Look back. Mr. Knight is actually running
I
like with him.
rewinded.
I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
it was super cool, and like him impaling him on the thing was just freaking awesome. And then the conversation between Ethan Hawke's character and Oscar Isaac's, while Khonshu's just in the background just saying shit. Love that. But then like when he impales the animal after, and then it's just Mark and Khonshu, and Khonshu just like threatening him like, yo, you should have figured this out. What's going on? By the way, if you F this up, I'm gonna get Layla. Like, and Layla throughout the whole episode, like, you know what? Like,
badass,
yeah,
passionate.
yeah, I feel kind of passionate about it. That's enough. I feel passionate about her. She's wonderful. But like it's his wife. Like, how the hell does Mark have a wife and Steven has like no freaking idea? Like, holy crap! And then at the end he's like, "Where are we going?" He's like, "Where the hell you think we're going?" And then you just show up in Egypt and just see a bunch of pyramids. My man fucking got a bottle in his hand and like bloody fist, and Steven's in the mirror just all cuddled up. Like, what the hell is even going on with my life? By the way, the song at the end of the credits, that song slapped. That Egyptian song, really like that. And then also another thing to think about. So according to Mark's passport, he was not snapped. He actually got his passport when like in between like the snap. So that means he wasn't actually snapped out of existence.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I caught that.
I never caught that. I didn't catch that.
Yep. So that was a good one. But other than that, I think the show's great so far. Really looking to see what happens in the next couple episodes. So
We're in for so many more surprises.
Oh,
honestly,
yeah,
because they only teased us from like the first 2 episodes, basically at this point.
Yep.
They haven't shown us anything, man. We got 4 more episodes left.
Yep.
All
right, we're gonna hit Aaron.
Yeah, you jump over to me. Okay. I mean, I'll make it quick so that these guys can go. Basically, I love the look of Khonshu. I love the bird, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to call it
the
a bird.
CGI was so much better this episode.
Right. I love the mask. I think it's really cool. I love how ominous and tall and present, the figure is itself. I love the conversations back and forth with Mark. The dynamic is great. To Leo's point, I think I said this before it even started. The violence, like, to me, might be a little bit of a drawback, but so far I think we've gotten enough to really keep it at least interesting and not bother me that much. I get it bothers you, totally understand. But I also I'm not reminiscent of like the comics and stuff like that. So I'm not traditionally known to like, I don't know how violent the character is outside of that. I still have to read the comic and kind of figure that out. The other thing I will say that really caught my eye is the whole part where he turned to Mr. Knight, and then he was like, right after that, he basically like looked in, I think it was the bus, and he basically gave over control to Mark at that point. And then from that point, him like smashing the mirror with his foot, basically saying like, Steven's not coming back, like knock it off, like Mark's here now, we're here to
and he said something changed, so like what
right
changed?
That's what I mean. Like I thought the whole thing was cool. The dynamic with the wife, like you said, I thought was cool. The other thing that I picked up on, honestly, and I think a couple of these other guys might have as well, that last scene where you saw him go to Egypt, I think from what I understand, that might be the Jake Lockley personality.
That might be a third, right?
That might be another
I've heard that
form of him like coming out at the end, because like now we're seeing like we haven't, I mean, I know we haven't seen really much of Mark Spector outside of the fighting and actually turning to Moon Knight and stuff like that. Right. But from what I understand, like the bottle at the end and the drinking and him being present in Egypt might signify the Jake Lockley personality more than the Mark Spector personality. So like it's gonna be interesting to see how far the original. I'm sorry, is it Steven? Steven's the original name?
We don't know.
Steven.
Mark Spector's technically
who was like the first person who he thought he was in the beginning. Steven
Grant.
So like it's gonna be interesting to see how far we see the Steven personality get pushed out as episodes go on. Like, is he even gonna be a present anymore? Right. Or was he just like a facade the entire time for every other personality? I think it's gonna be very interesting to see. I'm excited.
I like it. All right, Big Chase.
So first of all, I'm like Leo. Moon Knight has been one of my favorite characters since the comic first dropped. Have you guys seen the movie Split with the?
Oh yeah, Split,
yeah.
This is what Moon Knight's supposed to be for me.
The
way he plays those characters and whatnot, that's what it's supposed to be. That's who Mark Spector is, and all those other millions of personalities. at this point, it's still just a couple of episodes in. They're teasing you with giving you everything, which I kind of expect. But historically, by the time you get to 3 or 4 or 5, it'll get rolling and whatnot. I love the costumes, very very good job on that. The effects and stuff look decent. I'm like Leo. I need gratuitous violence. So gratuitous violence, man. Like, listen, that's what it's all about. Moon Knight's a warrior. Warriors do violent things. We need that in our life. It is what it is. We need that. Other than that, I mean, listen. I enjoy it. I'm glad that they put this thing out. Like, people don't know. Like, we've been waiting for this thing 20 plus years to be able to see on the screen, and I'm here for every minute of it. Every minute.
Facts. I think they dropped out.
Oh wow,
we're still here.
we still here.
Where's the man cave?
That's why it's
There you go.
There they go. All right.
You're up next.
We just switched person that. Oh,
they're gone again. Again, the thing with Moon Knight is, it's a dark story, and a lot of these, when you start getting into the persona of who these guys are, personality wise, and the things that they've been through, you realize that it's almost impossible for these guys to be happy because there's a big dark tragic cloud over their lives, and they've turned that energy into being a superhero. And so is it any wonder that some of them are so violent, but they've channeled this energy into something to try to do something positive, which is great and whatnot. But we need that gratuitous violence. Just bring it on, please.
yeah. I mean, I enjoy the show. I enjoy what they're doing. Yes, I do need that violence. I do need to see something splatter somewhere. I need to see him do what he needs to do. Hashtag not my Mr. Knight. I was waiting for that suit to come out, and it did, and it made me. I was like, what? I get it. He's thinking suit, and Steven's in control, and that's what he manifested. Okay, but not my Mr. Knight. I do love how Mark's wife then turns around and as she's talking to him, she keeps talking to him as Mark. Keeps talking to him as Mark, and it's like he's not getting it. And then like she realized like Steven, and then all of a sudden his demeanor changed, and he's like, "Oh, somebody needs me, or now you believe in me." Yeah. And that's what made him be able to get the suit in the first place. Right. I'm glad he gave it up and knew that he was out of his depth. Because he was playing. I'll say it again. Not my Mr. Knight.
That was a good punch, though.
It was a nice punch, but still not my Mr. Knight.
I get it.
I enjoyed the chase scene. Mark is a badass. I want to see more of him. I got a bloody fist in the first episode. I want to see that fist go through someone's chest. We deserve it.
Violence.
We deserve it. I want to see some bloody crescent moons. Like, we deserve that. But I mean, you know what? Falcon and the Winter Soldier, was all right. And then it was like, when my man killed him with the shield.
Yeah.
Everybody was like,
yeah, that was some serious ish.
So I'm hoping that we get that moment at some point in time. But I'm all in. I'm still all in. I'm gonna watch the show regardless. I'll probably be pissed off if I don't get that gratuitous violence, but I'm still watching the show.
Yep. All right, Charles.
Peace.
So
Moon Knight, second episode. I have to say, man, I was really impressed with what they was able to pull out of this. One of the things I won't repeat what you guys all touched on some great points. I will kind of touch upon the philosophical conversation between the Ethan Hawke character and Grant about how they would use Amit to judge, if a person, judge a person before they commit a sin, which is pretty interesting. What they were doing and how they were using Amit, who was the ultimate judge for humanity. Sort of like before you even sin, they would already know, and based upon that particular sin, if you should live or die. So it was pretty interesting about the philosophy. And he was asking, it was like, well, what about kids? Like, like, asking it like, well, would you kill a kid? We don't know if that kid in 30 years is going to commit that ultimate sin.
Yep.
So I thought that was pretty interesting about the whole, philosophy and that whole world, like the way that they kind of created where, like they're supposed to learn 3 languages and,
But that
the
actually
food.
existed in Egypt. All these gods, all actually existed in Egypt. That's why I'm very spectacle how they take it.
Yeah.
They're playing the gods great.
Yes. I thought that was really, really interesting. Just that whole story and that whole concept, that the conversation between them two. And Stephen Grant, he's just, like you guys are saying, I think that, obviously, eventually his world will change. I think it's only a matter of time because this world has been unraveled. Even the scene where he's talking to HR, and he's asking, they're like, I hate this HR thing to say, but and then yeah, it was so funny, the guy, I mean, even from the footage when he was like, okay, yeah, right there, and he's watching the footage with the security guy, and the guy calls him a donut. He said, "You're such a donut," he called him a donut.
Yeah, but props for this show, like attacking mental health too, like that's a good look.
It was just interesting because at that point when he says, okay, was there anything on your person that you have, that's connected to the museum? And he was like, no. He said, and he points to his name tag. So it's like at that point, Stephen Grant, life has changed from that point forward. He take off his nameplate, he puts it on that desk, and his life has just totally changed from that point. So I found those little moments interesting in the show. Even with like you said about the personalities, I think that eventually what's going to happen is that Jake Lockley personality is going to be in the 3rd episode, because there's a little things like the what do you call it, the postcards and him having a date with that girl. Like for Mark was married. Why would he make a date with, you know what I mean? Like, if he really loves Layla, you know what I mean? So who really made that date? If Steven didn't make that date, Mark didn't make that date, and maybe it was Jake.
And
you know what I mean?
Who is Jake Lockley? I really haven't read a lot of the comics. So like, what is his persona?
He's in the comics, he was like a cab driver.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So he was kind of like that person that would be just close to the ground as far as knowing things, So he would use that persona to just kind of get information, But so I think that Jake has, kind of behind the scenes being the puppeteer, because a lot of stuff that, making a date and all that stuff, I just don't see Mark doing that. His Mark persona. Right. And the whole fish thing. Why would Mark take the fish back to the? You know what I mean? Like that's not what Mark would do. Mark is a stone cold, badassery, right? So
I think that was involved with something else, though. I think that whole fish thing, something happened in that place, and that something happened to that fish. I think that's all just a I think it's all just a replacement.
Like he was like, I was here yesterday, like. So I mean, it could be Mark covering up his tracks, but then again, it's like it's just those little nuances that kind of get you thinking. So I think that eventually, the Stephen Grant will eventually start to morph into something a little bit more. The Mr. Knight, oh my gosh! Like when I finally saw him, I was like, oh shoot, Like I was like, wow. And they made him kind of goofy, but I think that's just for us to know though that I think we're going to eventually get that character's growth.
Yeah,
from this point.
I agree.
I think eventually we're going to see that sophisticated, because I mean, in the comics, he was like a counselor and he was like very sophisticated, and he wasn't so badassery like the Moon Knight that we know, but he definitely can hold his own. But he can definitely hold his own. He was like almost like a detective, basically.
Yep.
Mr. Knight. So, but yeah, I thought that, and the Layla character, I think that was interesting because she did mention something too when they were on the motorcycle, and she said, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Stephen Grant." He was like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh, is that
one of your personas?
Is that one of your personas?" So he obviously used other ones. So just those, like I said, just those little moments was interesting with this episode. So I'm looking forward to episode 3. I can't wait. Wednesday can't come fast enough.
It's good stuff. All right,
ladies and gentlemen, that would do our show. We went a little bit over because we felt passionate. We got heated. And
literally yelling at each other.
Okay, one more thing before we go. I'm saying I cannot close the show without giving a special shout out to Ketanji Brown, first Black woman ever nominated to the Supreme Court.
Hey, yo.
Like history in the making. I just want to give her a shout out for all her effort, because getting to the Supreme Court definitely didn't start with that nomination. That's a long road, and I hope she's able to do everything that she wants.
Nice. Yeah, no, with you on that.
All right, brothers, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining ManCave Podcast episode 4.
Yep, don't forget to
subscribe. Find us on YouTube and Facebook at ManCave 101 Podcast.
Support your local comic shop.
Comics.
Yes.
Also, ManCave 101 Podcast on Facebook. Please join. Please follow. Please like. Please subscribe. And we out this bitch.
Thank you.
Doses.